1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Okay.
Has it been that long?
Yes. Well, I think I turned 45 this year, right?
Yes, you did.
How much?
45.
Holy.
He's actually
I'm a half 100 plus 1.
So so you're 51 now?
Yeah.
So we're recording, by the way.
I know.
Okay. So
Look here. No.
So we're going to start off very simple with, so what is your full name?
Robert Terry McBride.
And when were you born?
December 5th, 1967. But I did find a picture that somewhere in Mama's stuff that had my name on the back that said December 5th, 1968. So I may be 51, I may be 50, I don't know.
You've forgotten your birthday.
No, I know the birthday, just, yeah.
So I don't know if you want to give I'm not going to make you give your, how old you are, but this is Reba. So,
My second wife, my last wife, my only wife.
The only important one.
so you're the youngest
Yep,
of 4 boys.
yep.
So what are your brothers' names?
My oldest brother, Bo, who was Ralph Gary McBride. Then your dad, Jerry Mark McBride. Then there was Tootie, who died before I was born. And I think his was Ernest Ray McBride, if I'm not mistaken.
I mean, that's one of the questions, because I mean, I know both Bo and Tootie died before I was born.
Right.
So I didn't know either of them anywhere. I mean, do
Yeah.
you remember Bo at all?
A little bit.
So, I mean, how old was you when he passed?
1972. 5.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, I mean, what kind of memories do you have of him?
Bo was the one that first introduced me to McDonald's.
Really?
Oh, yeah. And Bo was the first one to introduce me to Coca-Cola. Good stuff. Thank you, brother. I remember like I said, I was young.
Yeah.
I remember a little bit of Bo.
I mean, I'm the same way with your father. I mean, I was 5 when he passed away. And, I remember things like him coming over on Saturday mornings. I remember the chair at your house that he always sat in, and he was always watching Hee Haw, it seemed like.
Or the Shoot 'em Up Bang Bang on Sunday mornings. Hop Along Cassidy.
Yeah.
The only man I know would sit on Sunday morning, sit and watch gospel singing and shoot 'em up bang bang afterwards and cuss like a sailor. That's my daddy.
So, I mean, so what are your parents' names?
It's too early in the morning, bud. Daddy's was Ralph Martin McBride.
Yep.
Mama's was Doris Madeline Holt McBride. Is that a pass?
So something I just recently learned, I don't know if you know this, but your mother was born in Atlanta.
Yes, I knew that.
So do you know how she ended up there?
No. Ain't got a clue. I just do remember her saying something about she was born in Atlanta.
Yeah, I mean, I had no clue until I ran across her birth certificate. Or no, it was the marriage license, I think it was.
I don't think it was ever brought to my attention on why. I don't know why she was in Atlanta.
So do you know how they ended up in Greensboro? I mean, I know they came from the mountains.
Yeah, from Tennessee. Honestly, no. I don't have a clue how they wound up in Greensboro.
Yeah, I mean, it just seems kind of odd.
Yeah,
So
from Atlanta to Tennessee to Greensboro.
yeah, I mean, I think your dad was pretty much established in Tennessee, and somehow or another your mom made it up there, and so I'm sure who knows.
Well, no, Granny's people was in Tennessee.
Yeah.
Now,
Okay.
do you remember Granny?
Grand Holt?
Yeah.
Yes, Grand.
Yeah.
Or that's what I used to call her. So.
Yeah, most of her people was in Tennessee. But because Mama's people was like if you're going 40, as soon as you cross into Tennessee, right there.
The first exit.
Okay.
Like the first exit.
We actually
Daddy's,
drove to the house one
yeah, 8 months his old house.
Oh, yeah. I tell them about that, how you have to drive up the mountain, you hit dirt road, and you keep on going for another 2
You
hours.
go across a bridge, a wooden bridge. His dad had a big old RV
God, yeah.
and drove across that bridge. I was like, I'm getting out. But he did it. But like Mama's people's is right there, and then Daddy's people's is like on the other end of 40, right until on Tennessee. What's the next state?
Arkansas.
Arkansas.
Okay.
Where you get in Arkansas. Now how they got together, I don't know.
Weird.
Yeah.
So what are some of your earliest memories, just in general?
Oh.
Well, I mean, growing, like, yeah. Like, I mean, I remember some of your, because I lived with your mom for a while. I remember having some of your old toys. Like, I remember the old Evel Knievel motorcycle you used to have.
I found one of them at Cracker Barrel. She wouldn't let me buy it.
So, I remember you had a ton of Hot Wheel cars.
Oh yeah, still do. To this day.
I think I've played this.
Just growing up on the farm,
Yeah.
we'd go through the trails and
Well, I mean, I tell the kids, we grew up poor, and I don't think they really understand
yeah, you don't understand.
what that means. I mean,
When you go to the bathroom, you go to something that when you're done, you can actually flush it, right?
Yeah.
Not this guy. You ever heard of outhouse? Oh yeah. Or a pot.
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah.
You remember?
Yep. Oh, I believe it. I remember.
Worst thing in the world is having to empty it.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Did you have to take the pot out to the outhouse to empty it?
Yeah. Yeah. Ask me how that went. Not. You sure this thing got upstairs?
Yeah. Is somebody on the roof, June?
I don't know what that pumping is. I keep looking around.
It's probably the heat vents.
Oh, yeah. Not
Somebody's
sure.
yelling in the-
Tell us about the house.
Mama's house?
Yeah, they did.
So I know, growing up, I'd always heard that they lived in that house and then they moved out, and then
they moved back. That's what I've heard. They moved into the house on Grimtown Road.
Yep.
Stayed there. I think it was Bo had already been born. Your dad had already been born. I'm not sure if Tootie had been born or not, but they moved over to Fairfax Road,
Okay.
and then they stayed there for a while, and then they wound up moving back.
No.
I don't know why. I ain't got a clue. You know how much rent was?
I know it was cheap.
$45. No, I'm sorry. $35. And when Mr. Bergman sold the place, the lady went up $10. And I thought Mom was going to have a stroke.
I mean, she was in that place. It seemed like forever.
I was born in 67. And
We moved out, I think it was like 88, 89 maybe.
yeah, something like that. And she was there when your dad was born in the 50s.
Yeah. Wow.
Your dad was born in 55, and I think Bo was born in 53. Something like 53 or 52, and never living there. I think every baby, and except for that, except for Tootie, I'm not sure. I think every baby had been brought home to the house.
Rin.
American dog.
Remember,
Rin.
But we're gonna play.
Yeah, I remember when the house was sold, she was real upset, or we had to
Yeah.
leave. So,
Yeah, that house was, yeah.
I still have dreams about that house. About
And no
once every couple
bathrooms.
weeks.
The shower was something that Daddy concocted. And Daddy was not a plumber. Daddy had a 5th grade education, okay? But that man,
He tinkered.
he tinkered, but I mean, when it comes to fixing cars, he was the man. But now that I look back at it, because it makes me wonder now, did Daddy actually fix the cars, or was Daddy real good at, how can I say, Afro engineering? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I hate to say that, but it makes me wonder now. But I've seen this man, no lie, when I was a kid, he had a TV service place with a guy named Cecil Turnage.
I remember the TV service place.
And you might remember this. He made a little box that had a button.
okay.
He had a little box that had a button. And I could push that button. And now this is back in the 70s now. and pointed at a phone and make that phone ring.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh, that's crazy. I've never heard of that.
yeah.
Oh,
And I wish I had it to this day.
yeah,
I don't know what happened. I was a kid.
yeah.
But it was. We'd be up there at it was T&M TV service, and I'd hit the button and fool Mom all the time. Mama gets mad at me. And she'd be answering the phone, T&M TV service. Yeah.
So, I remember you used to be able to dial a certain number and hang up, and it would call you back.
Yeah. I
So,
vaguely remember that.
back before the phone threw in your
You
pocket.
know how long it's been since I've actually used a rotary phone? You know how long it's been since I've had an actual home landline phone?
Really?
20 years. I've had the same number 20 years.
Wow. That's crazy.
This is my home phone now.
So, I mean,
You can put this on and take a picture.
I remember so many things about that house. I remember your mom always had, tried to have a garden, especially the sunflowers.
Yeah.
So, I remember
The swing set sitting in the back.
I remember every time we came over, you were like, okay, let's play bombardment.
Yes.
And you get out the paint cans.
Now bombardment is kind of like dodgeball in a way, but you got. I had paint cans in school. They had pens. I had paint cans. We said what, 5 or 6?
I thought it was between 3 and 5. I think it was just,
And the game, the way the game is if you got to throw and knock pins down. Now in school, you had like 5, 6 people on each team. And if you threw a ball and somebody else caught it, you were out. Well, it was just us. So we kiboshed that rule, So pretty much just knock all the pins down. And we played for hours and hours and hours. I bet I couldn't play now. I'm too old. I barely wrestle.
So do you remember the first time you ever saw like wrestling or what got you hooked or any of that?
Oh yeah, I was just talking about that the other day. Watching on watch Mid-Atlantic Championship Wrestling on Channel 12 on Saturdays. And then that night at 11:30, you could watch WRL Channel 5 and see what's going to be on Channel 12 the next week. It's like the up-to-date version. Yeah. Yeah. Prime example, I seen Wahoo McDaniel get attacked by Roddy Piper and Abdul the Butcher on WRL. Well, it actually didn't cut nothing out. You seen all the blood, boom, 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 right? Well, the next Saturday when they showed it on Channel 12, they edited it so you couldn't see it. But I got to see the stuff unedited. I thought I was somebody.
I remember when you first started and you would do the razor blade on your forehead and your mother.
Yeah, Mama would be like, Robbie, I swear, I'm going to tell you, I'm going to be at one of them wrestling shows and you're going to do that. And I'm going to come in there and be like, don't you be cutting your forehead. Mom, please don't.
Did she ever go watch you wrestle?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. She couldn't stand it, though, especially when I get beat up. I was the bad guy. Spoiler alert. Okay?
Oh, yeah.
What's today's date?
The 6th?
March.
2019.
What are we? April 6, 2019. Been Boogie Woogie Man for 15 years? 16 years?
Close to it, yeah.
Something like that. And in the history of the Boogie Woogie Man, the Boogie Woogie Man has never been a bad guy. Tonight, this guy, I'm turning bad on the peoples. Yeah.
So what was it about? You see wrestling on TV and you're like,
I don't know.
Yes.
I seen Ricky Steamboat one time. They interviewed him and said, why'd you get into wrestling? He said, I used to watch it on TV and I just like, that's what I want to do when I grow up. And I was like, you know what, Ricky? You got a point there, buddy. So I did. I sure did. And that's why I'm still doing it. I'm still having fun. When I quit having fun, I retire. 36 years later. Bug and Bo and Jason and Jeremy and not much Jennifer, but all the boys, yeah, they were my practice dummies.
I can tell you, I think you busted my head open at least twice.
Yeah, at least.
Don't tell Mom, don't tell Mom.
Don't tell Mom. You fell down. Jason and his Jason jumps.
Yeah.
We had a big hill in the backyard. We got out there playing and, something you newfangled kids don't know nothing about. We didn't have computers back then.
I would love to play around, but somebody doesn't like to.
But your Uncle Jason, you know, we'd be wrestling around from out of nowhere. You're laying down, and from up there you see Jason, nothing but Jason's butt coming in. Bam! Oh! No warning or nothing.
No, I remember you used to get so mad at me because you would try to do the figure 4 with the legs, and my legs are so strong for you to bend. And you're like, loosen your legs, loosen your legs. Like, no.
Go with it, man. Go with it. No, you're gonna hurt me. I remember it was one night, Bug was. I used to pick on Bug so bad. I'm sorry, dude. I was just being a typical uncle. I used to pick on Bug and Bo. It's a wonder they don't hate me. But there was one night, Bug had enough. I'd done something to him. I was like, from out of nowhere, he picked up a sit and spin and whack! About knocked me out.
Yeah.
You remember that?
I found the Christmas picture of the year I got that. So
Yeah.
I was like 5 or 6 when I got that
Yeah.
thing, so I was young.
Bug whacked that. He was smart, dude. He took the little thing off. Okay, I'm good. That hurt to this day. That hurt.
Well, it gave you practice for the chairs.
Oh, real. You think a chair hurts? You get hit in the head with a sit spin from the 70s.
So tell me, like, about high school. I remember they used to call you Wahoo.
Yeah, that was my own fault. Didn't even try it. It's just my own fault. Of course, I was big into wrestling. I got into professional wrestling, when I was in 10th grade?
So you were...
I was 15. I wasn't even driving yet. I was young. So one day I wore a shirt to school because, you know, back then you could go to the mall to T-Shirts Plus and get whatever you wanted to, you know, with the letters and stuff. And I wore a shirt on the front that said U.S. Heavyweight Champion on the back. It said Chief Wahoo McDaniel. Well, they started calling me Wahoo. I was like, okay, whatever. Well, that was in 9th grade. That lasted on through my senior year. So anybody I go to school with, they call me Wahoo. I'm like, really? But Chief Wahoo McDaniel did teach me how to chop, so that's a cool thing.
I remember one of the other nicknames.
Shut up.
Well, I mean,
Let me throw something at you.
I'm just trying to...
The one that begins with a B?
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean...
It rhymes with Ubbles?
Well, I mean, it goes to, you know,
Yeah.
growing up poor, more or less. I mean, it was a blowout.
Yeah.
I mean...
I forgot about that one, yeah.
So which one were you talking about?
I was talking about Bubbles.
I'm not sure if I
That's
know.
what they used to call me on the bus when I was younger. They
Really?
called me Bubbles, yeah. I've got about blowout.
Oh.
While I was doing the shuttle run and my tennis shoe blew out.
Yeah.
Right back behind us, summer school. Yep. I forgot all about that.
Well, I mean, I wasn't trying to, you know...
Oh. I'm old now. I don't get mad about stuff.
So, I mean, were you picked on a lot as a kid?
Oh, yeah. I was a fat kid. And they would pick on me and I would take it and not do nothing about it.
Yeah.
And probably start crying, you know. Because Mama always said, if you get in trouble at school, when you get home, you're going to get a whooping. Well, you know about Mama and her whooping.
Yeah. Go get me a switch.
Yeah. You know especially what I'm talking about. So, yeah. I take it until my freshman year. I was sitting in the lunchroom, and some senior come up behind me and thumped me on the ear. And that'd been a bad day anyway. And I'd been in started training professional wrestling, and I went on Bobby Boucher on him. And he thumped me and went around here, and I was like, whoa! I jumped up on the table and cross-bodied him and just started, and I did. I mean, they said it took 3 more people to get me off of them. And I thought I was going to get suspended. Nothing ever happened. Because the principal knew I got picked on all the time.
Yeah.
And by the time I was a senior, they were like, go mess with Wahoo, man, he'll kill you. He's crazy, you know. That's really the only altercation. I think one time on the school bus, I got in a fight with Roger Williams, and I put him in the cover clutch and put him to sleep.
Wow. So, I mean, who were some of their friends you used to run around with?
Oh, Lord, have mercy.
I remember Shane, and I remember
Shane Helms and Randy Cox.
I remember them too.
Not Shane Helms, Shane Harris. I do know Shane Helms, too. Randy Cox.
Lisa, was that his wife or his
Lisa,
girlfriend
yeah.
at the time? I'm assuming they got married. I mean,
Yeah, they've been married for 100 years, got 2 kids, and I think they got a grandkid on the way,
They have
don't they?
grandkids, yeah.
Skyhawks.
What was the one that used to live kind of across the street? Was it Shane? No, was it Shane?
From Grouptown Road?
Yeah.
Tim Myers. Tim Myers.
I mean, I know he's coming to the house every once in a
Yeah,
while.
blonde haired boy.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tim Myers. Who had a cool 75 Monte Carlo that was like a hot rod. You know me, I was one of the Duke boys. He would never let me. He would never let me drive it because he was like he drove like a grandma. I was like, dude, let me drive my car. He's like, dude, that thing was nice.
So do you remember your first car?
Yes.
What was that?
Well, I remember the first car I drove when I got my license, my own personal car. The first car I drove was a 1968 Dodge Charger. That was a hot rod. Hot rod. I was driving around High Point Road and Holden Road, and I was heading back to your dad's house.
Oh, that was back when cruising was big on High Point Road.
Oh, yeah. And the thing backfired, and all of a sudden the carburetor caught on fire.
Whoa.
And I couldn't get the hood open. And luckily, yeah, I was freaking out. And luckily, I was like within half a mile of your dad's house. So I called your dad up. Car's on fire. Where you at? He told me. He come pulling up, gets out the car. He starts laughing. I mean, this car's on fire and you're laughing. He opens up the hood and the carburetor's on fire. He takes his shirt off and just, I'm like, really? And he's like, go back to the house. I was like, So, but my first actual car that was mine was a 71 Ford LTD. School bus yeller. 4-door.
It seems like everyone in the family had LTDs at some point back in the day. So,
Good car.
yeah. Things are like a boat.
Compared to what we're driving right now. You can see what we got out of it. Mini Cooper.
Oh, okay. Nice.
That's a nice car. I'm thinking about trading my truck for a Mustang GT. Like I really need a convertible. I've never owned a convertible.
Oh, well, we never really had. We've had sun tops, or the sunroofs.
But yeah, I've had a bunch of cars in my days. Most of them I got from your dad. Wonder why? He owned the car business. Duh.
Yeah. So what was it like the first time you actually like wrestled like in a?
It was at Lindley Boxing Club in Greensboro.
No, is that the one over there by Lee Street? I think it was.
No, you're thinking about
I remember that. That was one of the first ones too.
MC Square over in the ghetto.
Yeah.
Yeah, over by the old church.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's the one I was thinking of.
This was at Lindley Boxing Club. That's where my first match was. Didn't have a clue what I was doing. I'd been in the business maybe 6 months. Didn't know what. All I'd done is show up and they'd beat me up and send me home. So I wrestled a guy named Harvey Biddy. He won as the American Dragon. And somewhere around here, there's a videotape of it. Somewhere
Really?
there is a video.
That'd be awesome to find.
Yeah. And I mean, there was a bunch of people there, and there was crowd reaction. Like I said, I didn't know what I was doing. I had no idea what I was doing.
No.
I didn't really start learning what I was doing until about 10 years in the business. You know, now I do it with my eyes closed.
Well, I mean, it seems like, well, several things, but, you know, I know there's a lot of times I went and things, you know, would not go as planned or things were not set up correctly. I mean, I remember seeing you actually go through the ring several times from being body slammed.
Why are you bringing up old stuff, bud? Yeah. But that, like I said, that's back when I was green, and that's back when the promoter didn't know what he was doing. That couldn't happen now.
Really?
The way rings are made now. Yeah. Come find out the promoter, which he passed away last year, but he had that ring custom built and had no idea what he's doing. Nothing. It was like pretty much bumping on this floor. I mean, you remember.
Yeah.
You know, wrestling's got to have some give to it. And, yeah, it's wonder would he kill each other, to be honest with you.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the most serious accident actually did not happen to you that I remember, and that was the bow.
Yeah.
So I'll
Good
never,
old Bo.
I will never forget that night.
That's back when you could smoke at wrestling events, smoke cigarettes, you know?
Yeah.
And Bo was what?
I think he,
14?
no, I think he may have just gotten his license, 15 or 16. So me and him both were living in Indiana by
And
the
of
time.
course, he was smoking cigarettes. Of course, Mama didn't know.
Yeah, she thought I was the one smoking. I wasn't the one smoking though.
You never did smoke, did you?
Yeah, I did.
Did you?
Yeah. I quit, oh my gosh, 10 years ago now?
Wish I could quit. I don't do nothing else though, never have. You know that.
Yeah.
Yeah, vouch for the people out there who's gonna be seeing this. I've never drank, never done drugs, have I?
I've seen you drink though.
But
Not on a regular
I'm
basis.
talking about not on a
He's
regular
becoming an
basis.
No,
alcoholic.
I think, I mean, the one time I saw you drink, I think you had just turned 21.
Oh, yeah.
And you went
That was my
to,
21st
you
birthday.
went to a certain club to get a strawberry daiquiri.
which one? Fanny's?
I just know it was a titty club.
Here?
In Greensboro,
Had to have been Fanny's.
I
No,
don't
Fanny's
know.
is in Georgia. I don't remember.
Well, no, I mean, I remember growing up and you had some roommate that wanted to go to a goth club, and you're like, okay,
Yeah.
I'll go to the goth club, but Bug, you've got to go to the strip club with me.
Dude, I remember that golf club. Dude, you scared the snot out of me. I walk in and I'm like, I made it to like from here to there, and I'm like, Bug, we
Well-
really need to go. It's okay.
Well, I just remember, us going to the strip club and you having like a membership that was lemonaded.
Yeah.
And I was just like, really? But anyway,
I still have nightmares over that golf club.
I remember you going, but I don't think we were actually there that long.
Oh, no, we weren't. Somebody done something, and I got scared. I said, Boo, we got to go.
So,
I can't remember what it was.
well, I remember your roommate were on to go. I don't remember his name at the time.
Chris. Big boy?
Yeah.
I don't think it was Jerry. I think it was Chris. Was it right after me and Ed split? I mean, like right after?
Yeah, I believe so.
It was Chris. I found him on Facebook, but he found me. But yeah, did he go with us?
Yes, because that was the whole thing.
Yeah.
He wanted to go.
I was like, son.
So somebody was supposed to tell a story of Bo getting hurt.
Oh, yeah, you were telling about, so smoking.
Oh yeah, thank you. See,
Yeah.
so anyway, yeah, we us McBrides, we tend to go.
Wonder.
Look, a squirrel.
I'll say that too.
So anyway, I was in the beginning of the show where they had ashtrays, metal ashtrays with flash powder in them.
Yeah,
Or-
a great place to put flash
Yeah.
powder, by the way.
So, this is back where you can smoke inside and everything. And of course, Bo was smoking a cigarette. Well, I remember I was in the back room just seeing a man about a dog, So I heard, big old kaboom. I was like, all right, show's starting. About a minute later, back then they called me Robbie. Where's Robbie at? I'm like, oh, girl, what you want? We need you. I'm like, kind of difficult right now, and so anyway, to make a long story short, Bo had put his cigarette out in the flash powder,
And it went off in his face.
and it went up in his face.
I thought he was going to be blind.
They thought he was going to be blind, said he'd never grow facial hair, said his hair would never grow back here.
Oh, wow.
It scared the hell out of us.
Yeah. And, of course, when I found out it happened, first thing, I'm like, how am I going to explain this to Mama? That. Okay, what type of a lie can I tell Mama? Bo was next to, I think I told her Bo was next to an ashtray where I put out a cigarette. I can't remember.
Yeah, but she wasn't that. She eventually knew and just
Oh, she knew. She
and
knew.
accepted it. I mean,
I'll never forget the first time she knew that I found out I had a tattoo and everything. We was over visiting her, and I went to go hug her by or something, and I had on a short sleeve shirt, and it raised up, and she's like, "Is that one of them tattoos?" I'm like, "No." No. You were there.
He walked around like this all day.
She looked at me, with that mama look like, let me see it. I'm like, See what? Robbie. So I rolled it up and showed it to her, and she was like, well, it's you.
She was a very accepting woman.
And I said, so is it Mama approved? She's like, I like it. And I'm like, whew, okay, yes.
Let me show you another one.
I didn't have
He didn't have
that one.
any, he only had
The only one I had was this one. But
So, I mean, not to circle back around, but I know your dad was really big on, the whole short hair.
Oh, yeah. Daddy was like, men got long hair, well, since we're in church, I ain't gonna say the word, but they're a little funny,
Yeah.
And, but back then, it wasn't. The ones that were funny had the short hair, But Daddy was all about Mr. Buzz Cut. If Daddy was to see me today, he'd, you ain't my boy. You might be my daughter, but you ain't my boy.
So, I mean, was he very strict? I mean, it always came across to me that, I honestly think if he had not passed away, I don't think my parents would have gotten divorced.
Really?
I mean, he had such a hold over my father.
Yeah. Well, there near the end, him and your dad got real close.
Yeah.
Because, like, now, me growing up, I don't remember Daddy ever whipping me. But your dad and Bo, Mama told me that Daddy would whip your daddy and Bo.
Yeah.
But I remember Daddy popping me on the butt once. Most time it was Mama.
Yeah.
And Daddy was strict, but Daddy could be downright mean too. Daddy used to pick on me and Mama all the time about our weight. That's why I'm so self-conscious about my weight.
I know, I know your mom had a lot of resentment towards him.
Yeah.
And I know when she passed away, I think we were all very shocked that, I know she was upset, but she took it very well and managed to turn her life around. I mean,
Yeah.
I think she had, an 8th grade education or something like that?
Something like that, yeah.
And managed to go and, get her GED and then, become a nurse. So, which is pretty impressive.
Yeah. Very much so. But yeah, Daddy could be until like I'd say the last 5 years of his life. He kind of chilled.
Yeah.
And then like the last year of his life, he almost done a complete turnaround. Almost made me wonder, did he know?
Yeah, well, I know my mom used to tell me that, when they found out that he passed away, someone who worked with him had mentioned that he had, been getting a lot of nosebleeds and he didn't tell anyone.
Yeah.
So.
And like, I didn't know, and I don't even know if you know this, but, and your dad's the one that told me and Mama that when they were cleaning out up underneath the sink where he used to brush his teeth and had his Listerine and stuff,
Yeah.
they found like numerous vodka bottles. Daddy was an alcoholic.
I had always heard those rumors too, but I wasn't sure
Yeah, Daddy was an alcoholic.
how much truth there was
Had
to
no
that.
idea.
So,
No idea.
yeah, again, that's only
I was
rumors.
a kid.
Yeah.
Back then, I didn't know what an alcoholic was, Yeah. I know I'd never seen him take a drink, but I do know he would gargle with Listerine and swallow it.
Really?
That should have been a sign right there. Hello.